Hey there, YouTube. Manitoba Hal here. Welcome to the first of my ukulele blues lessons. So I've been asked many times over the last few years to work up a DVD method for the blues, and I keep trying to write it out, but the truth is I'm not very good at that. So finally decided I'm going to do it this way. And I'm recording these really roughly. I'm using my webcam direct to YouTube, so I apologize if they're a little rough in nature. Today we're going to talk about the basic 12-bar blues in C. Now many of you already know the key of C fairly well, but if you don't, what you need is the C chord. We're going to play the C chord today. We're going to use the F chord today, and we're going to use the G chord today. Now I am tuned to the traditional G, C, E, A tuning. That's G on the low note for me. You can use that as re-entrant. That could be an octave. G, C, E, A. So that's where the chords are coming from, C, F, and G. If you don't already know these chords, I encourage you to spend some time practicing them. It'll sure make your playing a little bit more interesting. For the purposes of today, though, you can just take some notes and practice along because, of course, it won't really matter. A 12-bar blues is essentially a combination of these chords, a cycle of 12 measures of music that repeats itself over and over again for the singer in order to perform over. And we use the C chord for 4 bars, 2 bars of the F chord, 2 bars of the C chord, 1 bar of the G, another bar of F, and 2 bars of C to come back around for 12. What that sounds like is like this. F chord, back to the C chord, to the G chord, F, C chord. I said, hey, baby, don't you wanna go? I said, hey, baby, don't you want to go back to that same old place, oh my sweet home Chicago? So there's the basic 12-bar blues. Now, you're probably thinking, well, that's okay, but that's pretty obvious. Now, what makes the blues sound really good is the shuffle note. That's that thing that kind of bounces along and keeps it a little more interesting. Now, when you're playing a C chord, you can actually add on the A note down below here on that G string, or if it's a high note, it doesn't really matter. This is what's called as adding the sixth. And you're basically adding the relative minor to the chord. And when you do it over and over again, so it's like a downstroke and up, like a down up, and then a down up. That gives you your shuffle, and that sounds like this. And on the F chord, it is this E note, D note right underneath here. So it kind of turns your F chord into a D minor chord. Now it's hard to see with the mid of my fingers, but if you go back and forth like that. And for the G chord, you add that E note right there. So that sounds like this now. I said, hey, baby, don't you want to go? I said, hey, baby, don't you want to go back to that same old place, my sweet home Chicago? And that's essentially how to do a 12-bar shuffle. Just about any 12-bar song you know uses that sort of variation. So play around, see what you can find, and I'll see you on the next lesson.